Hi Petra, how are you?
Hello, how are you, Marji? Good to
I'm
see
great,
you.
thank you. Today we are speaking with Petra. She's with healingwithspirits.com. She's a shamanic healer and counselor. And we're going to chit chat a little bit about a session I had with her, a soul retrieval session that went into, it started with a natal chart. Let me start there. And really fabulous. I believe she got a ton of information from that. Do you want to say anything about that? How that works, Petra?
Well, usually when I work with clients, it's good for me to get that information. So that's why I start out a session with an assessment, and that assessment usually includes what you gave me in terms of the aromatherapy that we filled out, with your emotional and your physical ailments, and then also with a natal chart to illuminate shadow aspects in a very therapeutic way and check how this blends together.
Perfect. So we did the soul retrieval, and it's interesting because, as you know, I've done a lot of inner work and started my inward journey several years ago. And have definitely been some missing pieces. And we went into very deeply some what I perceived at the time traumatic experiences. And I'm gonna share a little bit more about that only because I've done a lot of inner child work. And what really came up in this session for me, and it was very interesting, it was more about adolescence and some things that happened for me at that time. And as you know, my mother passed away recently. Actually, both my parents did, and that brought up some other things. And in this session, we were able to go deeply into, and I was totally not expecting this, just for anyone listening, this got brought up, and it allowed this incredible sense of forgiveness and acceptance, not only on my end, like for my responsibility of being angry and all the emotions that comes up when we experience trauma, sadness, shame, whatever that is, to myself, but also an incredibly deep understanding of my mom and her experience. And it was really, it brought in wholeness, is what I should say. That's like a really, that word keeps popping in, so I'm going to use that. And pieces that were missing that I didn't even realize were missing. And gosh, I mean, it's like tears of joy also, and the understanding from my mom's perspective. And she came in, which was a really beautiful gift, and I've had dreams about her since. And speaking of dreams, I've always been a dreamer, but they've been much more vivid, much more spirit animals coming in. I just the other day in Eagle and Jaguar, I was in a situation with a lot of people, and it was a little bit chaotic, and it was really interesting. And this is eyes wide open, by the way. I could feel them around me, almost as a sense of protection and guiding me through some stuff, which was really, really, really beautiful. Would you like to share anything more before I start like getting all teary-eyed?
No, it's beautiful. I love it. Thank you for sharing this. And well, you've been through very traumatic experience, and it is always good when we do forgiveness work, especially when we are losing somebody and they are hovering a while over us. And that we were able to download and capture and have that direct dialogue happen, that was just so special and really beautiful. So I gotten to know your mom a little bit, and the way, her perspective sounded. It's always interesting to hear it from both sides. And that is where things really start to happen, because we are all intricately connected with each other. Well, shamanic healing, always starts with divination. And when my client give me the permission, I can also scan the body and see where certain blockages are. So sometimes what people experience and what it really happens are two different things. But once this is going to be released, then it's instantly felt. And that is what's happening also with you. You know, as you have already been done so much work and going really deeper, really meant that I kind of cracked open that shell a little bit with the help of my spirits after you said, yes, I can do it. As a Scorpio, you were able to tolerate it. And so that really, really went a step further. And that caused all this to come out and to release. And release work is what that is that we are able to really get confirmation on our own feelings, and yet the understanding that there might be other things at play at that time that caused our souls to leave because we were traumatically impacted, and that in fact made our power dissolve. So that's why when we are using soul parts to come back and restore power, it illuminates the whole being and brings a vibrancy back into the whole.
That totally makes sense. It's very interesting because it's not only, I don't know that I can put this into words, but not only was it very expansive and from an energetic perspective, right? Like feeling this expansiveness. It was like all the tiny pieces filled in that expansiveness, if that makes any sense. Like if we look at cells, right? Like our little cells in our body, it's like now they're all spinning properly and some aren't stuck or missing. Everything's like much more fluid and expansive, and there's not this missing piece. So that's been a really, really beautiful to experience. And again, last night with the moon and all of everything that's happening right now, it was really cool because my dreams were, it's almost like all these little pieces are coming together at this time, the past time and future time, if that makes sense. Like a very, very much of any little things that needed to be smoothed out or expanded are just happening. And it's really interesting because a lot of it's happening in dream state, which has been really, really fascinating. So it's fun journaling that, by the way, just so you know, it's been really fun. Another cool part besides the emotional part and the energetic is that you did this remotely. You're on the other side of the country, and it fascinates me. I mean, and I've known this because of the inner work that I've done. But for anyone who is listening, that there really is no time and space. And so as this work was done, you didn't need to touch me. I didn't need to be there. We did it, and it felt instantaneously. Like it was all like it was happening at one time. And so it was a beautiful, really beautiful gift to be able to do that and do that with you and not have to fly across the country to see you.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fascinating that it works, but you know, spirits really are working outside of time and space. And when we have permission and we get our fully transcended spirits to work, then it is possible that we do it across country. So you can sit on the West Coast and I can sit on the East Coast, and we will make it happen. Yeah. Important is that we're using an open heart and that the client is willing and ready to really be able to receive. And so the spirits can come in and remove what doesn't belong and also bring back and restore the power. And when we're lucky and there are missing soul parts, we can go and retrieve And that is sometimes easier said than done. But once we are able to get them with the permission of the client, bring them back, and then certain things start to happen. And because now, anyway, we are in the middle of eclipse season, and usually eclipses start to eclipse things out. And that is a good sign sometimes, because we are ready to transcend and have something new happening. And we move on with a new experience. And now that you have really been able to forgive and forget and keep the beauty in your heart, it's a much easier way to move on and to really look at your life versus someone else's, and not seeing yourself as a victim, but as somebody who is fully in their power and fully in charge. And that is what we're here for as souls. We are meant for these times. We are here to experience the tremendous upheaval that the world is now seeing. And we are part of it because we chose to be here. And we chose to do it through the channels of our parents. And that's why these ancestors are very important. And they become wonderful tools of help and resources for us when we are able to let them. Right. So now not only do you have your mother's support, it is constantly with you.
Yes. And I'm allowing that to be there. I mean, I'm allowing it more freely without holding on to anything with that. So it was a really, really amazing, beautiful experience, and continues to. Is there anything else you would like to share with anyone?
Well, I think since we are all in one way or the other affected by, I have the door open and a little bird just came in. It's so pretty. And yeah, so we experience all in a variety of ways, stress, drama, accidents. And so when we are experiencing that there is something missing, and we are able to find someone who assists us in getting our soul parts back, and working with that newfound soul, we experience that we also grow younger. Yeah, because we get our youthful self back into the here and now, and that usually makes a huge difference, because having a playful, humorous side, that's all it takes sometimes to make a dreary situation look a little better. And it's all about attitude, aren't we, know? So ensuring that all the healing elevates pain and alleviates pain and suffering for all the human beings. That's my goal, and that's when we are reaching out and getting more people involved, and that's beautiful.
That's really
so beautiful. That's when the energetic healing comes in with the anointments of the chakra oils that can work on all our energy systems inside and out. And that will be radiating out into the aura, so that we can really keep that and have it contained until we experience other things, because that's what life is all about, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there are plenty more experiences to come for sure. You know.
The bird just took full flight into the sunset. It's gorgeous.
Oh, I love that. The birds are outside chirping right now, which is really fabulous as well. And my cat is sitting in the other room just watching me. What are you doing? Petra, it's such an honor and a gift to have worked with you and continue working with you. And again, she's with healingwithspirits.com, and I encourage anyone to reach out to her. This is just one piece of what she does, and I'm in honor and humbled that you're here at this time with me and sharing your work with everyone. So thank you.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful night.
Blessings.